How do you guys handle anxiety? Let's start
Wait,
with Kenneth.
are they saying how do guys?
How
or
do
how do
us
you
guys, like us people, like I
Like,
think
how
they
do
wrote.
the guys handle the
I think they
anxiety?
wrote.
The girls don't matter.
They wrote into the app and they just wanted to know how people feel or deal with anxiety. Starting with Kenneth.
So for me, I'm personally someone that doesn't have anxiety. I get stressed out a lot.
I do.
That's anxiety, Kenneth.
That is, I mean, like
That's
stressed out. No, but it's not like I go out in the day and like
That's
little
still
things.
anxiety,
Okay,
Kenneth.
I'm sorry, Josh. Did not know that, but
Ken, I think you really need to work on that.
my anxiety.
He's stressed out right
like
now.
you're stressing me out. Like, thank you. But for this question, learn that everything is not permanent. Like, if you make a mistake, it's not going to actually follow you for the rest of your life, as we all like to think in our heads.
You mean like my prison record?
There we go. That's a different... Louise, not now. It's not the time.
Sorry.
But...
Can we talk about that another time, please?
But for this question, best way to handle anxiety, it's just really, like, understand that these situations are not always going to be there, and they're not always going to last forever, and that you can get through them. And learn to take time to actually think before you do things, because that's something that we don't really do often.
He looks right at Mozart.
Mozart.
That's something that we don't do often, is it? Mozart.
Okay, so I hardly ever get anxiety, but when I do, I don't really handle it very well. I just kind of like
Some great
I
advice
just kind
from
of
the
like
panel.
freak out and just like I don't really handle anxiety that well, but I do get anxiety sometimes. Like this past weekend, something very humiliating happened to me
Traumatic.
in front of a bunch of people, and I was so upset about I just had like a lot of anxiety about it, like yesterday and like Sunday night and stuff. But I realized that like they're not gonna really remember it. I'm just kind of making a huge deal out of it in my head, and I think we do that sometimes. Like I'm talking about if you like humiliate yourself in
Are
front
you
of a ton of
honestly not
people.
going to tell us what happened?
No,
Okay.
I cannot.
You're
It's
causing
something
her
happened.
It
anxiety.
was terrible.
I accept that.
It was
causing
yeah.
It's
So-
alright. If you guys need an anxiety story, I have one for you, which will
We'll get through
direct
line.
the fire away from you, Mozart.
Okay, please share.
Okay, so I think this was like freshman year in high
Oh.
school in history, and I guess like I don't know, there was something wrong with the desks, and
no story.
So you know how like sometimes when you pass gas, you think it's gonna be really quiet, and you're like it's gonna be good,
Oh, blame the desk.
nothing's gonna happen. So, not what happened. Really loud. Like, honestly, one of the loudest things I've ever heard. And instead, like, you know how people think that's funny? But, like, and it was funny, but I thought it was hilarious. And I was, like, laughing hard.
Wait, Kenneth, it wasn't you?
It was me. I was laughing, though, and people were laughing, but then they started to stop laughing, but I kept laughing. And then it ended with me getting sent out of class because of how hard I was laughing.
Do you understand,
At
Kenneth? That
myself.
is so not the definition of anxiety.
Yeah. That's literally what happened.
No.
Like,
My
half an
anxiety
hour
That is
so
ago.
anxiety. It was
bad.
awful.
Louise,
I was
it-
so...
And I was like laughing, running
scared.
into the wall.
He's right. That is anxiety. I mean, it's not similar, but like
I
I
have so many
was in middle
stories.
school and there was like a lockdown because there was actually somebody in
Josh
the
just starts
school.
laughing.
And I did.
Yeah.
I was in
Josh
the
is like-
quiet classroom just laughing, and the teacher was like, "Shut up."
How is this anxiety?
And I'm like, because it's like your body doesn't know what to do,
oh, okay.
so it just starts laughing.
Oh, so you laugh out of,
uncontrollably.
but it's like it's
Nervous
more like
laughter.
you feel like yeah, but it's more like a nervous situation than like low grade anxiety that follows you around.
I mean,
but-
for me, like it is low grade anxiety, like all the time.
Like this is situational.
high paced life has like but it's triggered by certain things.
Okay.
And like I would say that happens a lot in life where I'm laughing in uncontrollable situations because of anxiety of like what people are making it mean or what it might mean about me. Like there was one time I accidentally like chopped my godmother's finger off with a hedger, and like I was laughing at the
What?
Let's
Just-
back
Keep
up
going.
for a second.
We were at the hospital and I was just laughing and the doctor told me I had to go like stand in the corner. Like I could not stop laughing. Like it's a problem.
No, like
Josh, go have a timeout. You just
Like-
cut your godmother's finger off. Go stand in the corner.
It's true.
Go.
But like the anxiety is real, and like what I found like really help like control it and how to handle it is really to just focus on being present with the current situation and not think about what other people are thinking or what think about what the situation is. Just really focus in and like try to focus your breathing and your like heart rate, like kind of like tap, and your heart rate will slow down.
tapping. Josh,
Tapping,
how
yeah.
do you know about that?
Because during I give a lot of speeches and you have to for me at least I have to before or even during a speech like tap my legs slowly like to lower my heart rate. It's proven that like the
Smart.
heart rate will lower to whatever beat that's why music works so
yeah,
well.
yeah,
Like if you listen to slow music you'll calm down.
And
too.
also, do not say you still have more fingers than my shop teacher.
oh my godmother.
Not appropriate. No,
Oh.
to
No, don't say to your godmother. You still have.
Never mind. Lyric, anxiety.
Oh,
Because I know that you.
Yeah, you're talking to the right person.
Yeah, you're an expert. Yeah.
Oh well, I wouldn't say that. Yeah, no, I have anxiety, but it's not just like I have anxiety about things. Like I'm like diagnosed with anxiety, and I've been able to handle it pretty well from like going to therapy and just sort of like learning different techniques of like how to calm myself. And I think some that work for me are just like, yeah, like what Josh said, like there's also tapping where you like do like tapping in certain places, like, but that was like the same thing. And I haven't done that in a while, but I remember doing that a little while ago and that helped. I think for me, just like doing like a reality check, like, which means if it depends what kind of anxiety you're having, but sort of, this is what kind of everyone's been saying, but being like, okay, let's just say that like, what's an example of an anxious situation?
I can actually tell you what happened if you want. If you really want to
Okay.
know, I'll tell
We
you.
pulled it out of her.
If you really want to know, I'll tell you.
Okay, but here, you want me to?
I
just
think
finish
it
my
would
example?
help. I think.
Okay,
it would
go
help.
ahead, and then I'll finish my example. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm in a children's choir, and we're a really good children's choir. We're actually like going to New York to perform at Carnegie Hall in like 3 weeks.
Wow.
So like just like we're actually like good. And we have conducting class, and this is ironic how this happened because I just got like promoted into like the highest like kind of like level of like singing. There's like different ensembles, and I got promoted into a higher one. And
There's no
Is this
part.
Okay,
Is this so funny?
just to finish it up, what happened was that Lyric, when she started her story, she's like, "No, it's fine. Don't let me finish my example." And just started listening, but nobody heard her say that. And you just,
Oh, I see. So she's laughing at her own joke inside her own
Yeah.
head. Okay.
No, because
but I heard her, and I just went like,
because I was like, no, it's fine. You go ahead. No, I'll go. It's fine.
I thought she was laughing because she was hoping there'd be farting in this story.
well, it's kind of worse. I was sitting in the back of conducting class, and there's about 50 to 60 kids in the class, and I had been absent for 2 weeks in a row because I had the flu and just other stuff. So I kind of forgot this one thing that we had been doing, and it was a 4 count conducting, and it goes like dun 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 dun. Like now I know how to do it, but like that. And so I guess what our conducting teacher loves to do is call on people he doesn't think are paying attention. And I actually was paying attention because I try to like pay attention as much as I can because if he does call me, I want to be able to do what he's going to show. And we had been doing 3 counts and we did a 2 count. So I knew what to do. So it's not like I wasn't paying attention. I was. So he called me up and he says, do a 4 count in staccato. We're going to do Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. And I got confused in my brain because I was like, okay, I'm going to do what we just did because that's what we normally do. And what we had been just doing was a 3 count. So I finished doing my 3 count in staccato, and the whole class goes silent. And this one girl in the front, she's like, "You did the wrong one." Wow. She's like, they're all looking at me. They're like, "You weren't supposed to do." No. And our conducting teacher goes, "Okay, that was in 3/4. now can we do it in 4/4? And I did it in 2/4. Then I did it in 2/4. Then I did it in 2/4. I had been absent for 2 weeks, so I forgot how to do 4/4. I forgot how to do it in 4/4. So he's standing there, he's trying to show me how to do 4/4, and I forgot. And I'm like, I can't get it right. I can't get it right. And I'm like, I'm not wearing I'm not wearing makeup. So my face is just totally
Bright red.
yes.
I think it's fine, and that stuff happens, especially when you get disoriented. Then the more you trying to orient yourself, the more you
was
go off the path.
terrible.
Yeah.
Okay,
It
so
was
now
terrible.
I'll apply my advice to this situation.
Wait, 1 second. And he's like, okay, you can go sit down.
Oh.
He's like, okay, you can go sit down.
And scene.
And I started crying, by the way.
So now,
Oh,
when
I
you-
would've
do you
cried.
feel
I
better?
cried
Do you
so
feel better
hard.
after telling that story? Because it's
I
really
feel, I feel brilliant sharing it with
we're
the
all
internet.
listening, and we're like,
like-
oh, well, that's okay.
But I was so freaked out.
That is true.
like-
We're all listening. We're
Yeah.
like, oh, that wasn't.
Yeah.
That's not as bad as my fart story.
Everybody's
What?
gonna remember me as the dumb blonde girl who kept getting it wrong.
Okay, what I want to know, Eliza, is because you're now in a lot of
Wait.
anxious situations. We've been on this story for a while, so we're gonna move on. Sorry. You've been in a lot of anxious situations with a lot of people that you probably grew up watching. Have you ever gotten yourself tied up or thought, I'm saying this and I don't know how to fix it?
Yeah, well, I mean, from doing improv and stand-up, but especially improv, you kind of have to become friends with your fear and anxiety. So rather than try to fight it all the time, just be like, I understand that this is going to be here, and that's okay, and it's not wrong, and it's not the situation. I'm not malfunctioning if I feel that. It's just this is how it's going to be. And so sometimes I'll be in a high-stress situation with someone, and the heat starts going up, and the anxiety starts going up, and I can just do self-talk. They're like, you know what? You have to focus on what you need to do here. You just have to get through this, and later you can feel the feelings about this. But right now you need to just get through it. Generally, I'm a very anxious person, and all the stuff that you guys said, I think, is really valuable and good. Exercise also is really, really important.
Yeah, and I like what you're saying about build up that muscle that knows how to just power through. And things like improv and performance and what these guys are doing right here, just talking extemporaneously about their immediate thoughts on these issues is like really, really good exercise for your mind that you can push through a stressful situation and then have the feelings afterwards.
I think that sometimes when it gets really bad is when you're fighting it in the moment, when you're like, oh, I'm screwing up. Oh no, and now I'm worried about it, and now it's even worse, and then you just sort of spiral. So if you can just stop it and be like, I'm screwing up, time to do the next part of this, then you can stop it from just getting worse, because you're gonna have tough days, you're gonna have stressful situations. There's nothing wrong with feeling that.
Lyric.
Yeah, no, that's actually what I was about to say.
Yeah.
No, that's one of the techniques that I've used. And also there's this new one that I learned where it's you use the 4 elements. So the first one, we can all do this now, okay? Group therapy session with Lyric. So you first for earth, you put your feet on the ground and you feel the ground beneath you. And this is more of a grounding exercise so that you can kind of and then for the air, it's breathing. And then for the water, it's swallowing, you swallow. And then for the fire, it's, I don't know.
Great.
You're doing
exercise.
great, Lyric.
That was the 4 elements with Lyric.
You can completely burn down the first 3 if you don't
Okay,
do this
the
properly.
fourth one, I think the fourth one is do you know what the fourth one is?
I don't.
She has something else to add
I
about.
did.
Maybe it's drink whiskey.
But I do know that you get really hot sometimes when you are feeling anxious. Maybe it's a quieting of your own heat. I don't know.
Maybe there's that lighter app for when you're at concerts and you just kind of go like this.
Yeah.
That's what that one's for.
So every
Go
time
ahead,
you're on
Eliza.
stage.
Go ahead, Eliza.
Well, I'll also say that I think a lot of the things that I was hearing from you guys and that I have felt myself is about judgment from other people and feeling like you're being judged. And I think that something that's helped me in my life has been to start being able to recognize people who make me feel good and people who make me feel bad, and not hold on to the messages of judgment and negativity, and instead try to surround myself with people that make me feel good. Because I think a lot of times we'll have an instinct to, if someone gives you some sort of criticism, then that's more valuable than someone giving you praise. Does that make sense?
or you work really hard to fix that and correct their view of yourself.
Rather than just go, yeah, you know what, they're right. I do have short little teeth. Whatever. I'm going to get on with my life and be good at stand-up.
Yeah, because because in middle school they'll notice anything
I
about
do.
anyone.
That was really specific.
They'll make us.
It's me. It's
like
me.
if people
It's
go
about
up
me.
to you and tell you they have short teeth, just be like, stop.
That's my cross to bear, and I have.
I don't
I've gotten over it.
have
so.
short teeth. You have tall eyes, so
Yeah.
that's your problem.
You have wide eyebrows.
Thank you.
Wait,
Wait,
that
sounds
was
really
weird.
mean.
That was I just
I'm
felt
fine
like your
with it.
eyebrows are
I
like
love them.
Yeah,
a
your eyebrows
normal,
are really
like-
on fleek.
Thank
like
you.
They're
You're
on
really
point.
freaky.
They are on point.
Thank you.
And I want to thank you for being with us, Eliza, especially running, having such a
I
busy
remember
day.
the fire
We're
one.
gonna get you. Oh, you remember the fire? Let's
I
close with
think
that.
it's like feeling the warmth of like your like body like in yourself, I guess, or you know what I mean, like you know how you can kind of feel like, and just like all combined, like your anxiety will go down because you're like thinking about something else. So.
You just give yourself a nice hug. And I want to thank everyone
Yeah.
for being with us.